back and forth, right?
We'll find out.
There you go. Well, I'm a Republican Creed Republican. So I think if you know the Republican Creed, which the people in this room, you know the values that I have served the constituents of Virginia Beach consistently since I first served in 1986, again in 1992, and since 2011, I have been consistent. I respect how hard you work and have to earn your money, and I have worked full-time on this job, even when I was working a full-time job, and my family can attest, I rarely sleep.
And we thank you, John.
Yes, we do.
I want to talk just briefly about this budget we just adopted. We ended the year before that with an $81 million surplus.
Yes.
Due to both overperformance of revenues, meaning we collected more than we thought we would, just like the state did, and because we under-executed the budget that we appropriated, mainly because we had lots of vacancies that we never filled. And what business would tie up capital for jobs they know historically they've run a 5% vacancy? No self-respecting company can do this. So I've always fought to return that money back. So in November, when the school board majority, not Laura, not the Republicans, not Carolyn Weeds, who's not here tonight, think about her at District 9, and Vicki Manning, they didn't vote for that. They asked for $54.9 million of money back, most of which was under-executed money from the prior year. But the high priorities was $3.5 million for AstroTurf. I'm sure that's what you would say during high inflationary budget times. And the other part, making the claim that they were accelerating school construction, but when you took the pages out of the budget, which I did in that year, nothing was changing about the delivery date of those 3 schools. It was false representation. There was no need. More importantly, someone said, oh, but we needed to raise those taxes for public safety. Anyone who watched my presentation saw that we could have funded all of that, plus the $28 million of the first-year debt service on the bond referendum, and still could have a 91.117 revenue-neutral tax rate. And why is that? Because just like Governor Youngkin is giving tax relief to the overperformance of revenues, so did we. But we didn't choose the Republican course of action. We chose to tax and tax and spend and spend. We could have done what the governor did. We could have provided tax relief. We took $58.9 million out of your pocket, which translates with the multiplier effect of close to $100 million out of the economy. That was wrong. But that's because you gotta pay attention to the details. You have to pay attention. So I've always spoken and stood up. I'm not a big private-public partnership guy, as you know. I didn't vote to give Ron Ripley $10.2 million of a tax rebate for City of Virginia as a candidate for the Bayside Legacy seat. I didn't vote for that. I didn't vote for that for the Atlantic Park, and I didn't vote for the music hall. The private sector, if these things can't work, it's not like we paid $8 million to get GTS paying $77,000 a year for 1,200 jobs. We paid $10.2 million of real estate tax revenue for apartments, retail, and office space at City View. Now, how good a deal was that? Now, I haven't been a district council member since I was Councilman back in the 80s. Back when we got a police station, a library, and some other things. I've been an at-large member. So I had to change my focus a bit. And since Lewis had passed away, I've had to step in a little bit there. But I'm telling you, if you want a Republican who has supported Republican candidates, I did the video for Tim Anderson when no other elected official did when he was running. I stepped out and did a video for Winston Sears when she was running for election. I didn't see many other council candidates. And I couldn't get a single candidate on city council other than myself to endorse the governor's tax release initiative, including the removal of the sales tax on food.
Amen.
So you have to ask yourself, who really is a fiscalist? Who really believes in capitalism? And who believes in limited government? And who believes they work for you and not special interests? They didn't spend $250,000 2018 from the teachers union to Bruce Thompson because I was doing a great job representing being a fiscal conservative. They wanted me off because I speak and tell the public what is going on. And without me, you wouldn't know half the stuff that is going on in this city. And I want to continue that legacy. And I hope there's someone out there who's saying, boy, I really want to, 4 or 5 years, be John Moss, because at some point you say, I've done my best, I've done my duty. But I've been, for the first time since I retired, I now can do more than 40 hours a week. I probably spend 80 hours a week on this job. And the staff will tell you that I'm a vigorous asker of questions and a vigorous people making them justify spending. I share that information with you, and I will continue to represent the people of the 9th District and the city as large, because we can do better, and we have to make this government more affordable for every citizen who lives here. Thank you very much. Yes, RK, I know. I have to stop, but you can ask me after.
Well, no, you can ask her a question.
Okay.
Well,
For 21 years, I know you've been a great Republican. How is it that you work with all these Republicans that think 180 degrees different than you do? Are they really Republicans or are they just presidents?
I've learned never to judge by other people. That's the voter's job. My job is to do the best job I can do. You have to judge me by what I promise I will do. I promise to live by that Republican creed, and I have done that in my job, but it's not my place to judge my brother. That's your job to do as voters.